It's a sunny and warm afternoon in Huntington, West Virginia, as Old Dominion and the Herd get set to do battle on homecoming. Hi, everybody. I'm Keith Morehouse, pleased to be joined by Marshall Hall of Famer, former NFL player Doug Chapman. Doug, Marshall's been gone from home for 28 days, apropos that this is homecoming.
Yeah, beautiful day, great crowd on hand. Marshall back from being gone, like you said, almost a month, getting a 2-3 ODU squad who's much better than their record shows. The body of work, he's trying to get better and better, turn around and hand the ball off.
Much of Marshall's success due to its defense, and Juwan Young made his debut last week, already has made an impact.
Yeah, the Miami transfer hadn't played football since 2015. 4 tackles, a half sack. He's not a tackler. He hits you. You feel it. He'll knock you naked, knock the pads completely off of you. Love watching him play.
How about Tyree Brady, another Miami product? He's already been a star for this young Thundering Herd team.
Sat with him last night, talked to him. Good-looking athlete. Tore up NC State for 248 yards receiving. Chase Litton just puts it up. He can go up and get it. He's not just one of the best wide receivers in Conference USA. I think he's one of the best in the nation.
It's the 4th all-time meeting between Old Dominion and Marshall, and it's homecoming in Huntington, West Virginia. Fire up the grill, grab your favorite beverage, and get ready for some football. Marshall and Old Dominion coming up next. 38-14, the Monarchs got bowl eligible last year, beating the Thundering Herd. And so Marshall, as you mentioned, looking for a little revenge. Set to kick it off here. Kari Vedvik, a low kick, angling, and it's out of bounds. So that's going to drive Doc Holliday crazy. The Monarchs will get it at the 35-yard line.
Watched film, and he's a smart kid. He doesn't make the same mistake twice.
There's a pitch outside to Lowry. He's got company, and he goes nowhere. How about the defense by Chris Jackson?
And Chris Jackson, one of the better corners in this conference, showing you that he'll come up and actually hit you. He's not just a cover guy. Physical corner, plays towards the boundary. Talking to Coach Heater last night, Jackson's one of his players on defense that really everyone else feeds off of. They're going to have to feed off now. Big 3rd and 15.
Inside Marshall territory, Stephen Williams Jr. The big task on his hands here. They're going to pitch it out. That's Cox, and Tyler's out there, and a bunch of his friends. That one's going nowhere. Marshall stops him.
And that's what you call when you got a freshman quarterback.
The junior from Hope Hills, North Carolina, doing a nice job early. This time they're going to go to the air. Had his receiver. Is that intercepted? It is. Rivas has it, and the Herd's got the football.
Talked about it. Rivas comes up, makes a big play in run support, and you see him there just being active. Great coverage on the back end. Slant gets broken up. And there you go. Rivas right there, right place, right time, able to come up with it.
So Vedvik, standing in his own end zone, takes his time and hits a bomb. Darrell Brown is chased back, and he lets it bounce, and it's going to roll deep. And it's all the way into the end zone. Are you kidding me? That just went end zone to end zone.
100-yard punt.
The Marshall special teams guys are kicking themselves. They wanted to down that inside the 5, but Kari Vedvik flips the field position. We're scoreless in Huntington. 2nd down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Williams gives to Lowry. He's got nothing going on there. Marshall's defense, Ryan B on the stop with some help.
And now Ryan B is a grown man now. You stand next to him, 6'6", all of 285 pounds, and he's still growing. They moved him inside to a 3 technique. He can line up and takes double teams, runs at the teeth of that defense. He takes up 2 players. You see the bodies, the green jersey swarming. That happened because Ryan B takes up a guard and a center to let his linebackers flow freely.
There were some skeptics, Doug, about moving him inside. He was a defensive end, but he's done a great job on the middle for the Thundering Herd. 3rd down, 9 yards to go. Williams going to pitch it out. There's Lowry, and again, Marshall's defense is there. Count the jerseys. 4 green ones led by Juwan Young. Now Litton needs a 23 to keep the drive going. Delivers a Juracek, and he's got it. Juracek out over the 25-yard line. And he's Mr. Reliable, Doug.
And nothing makes a quarterback, I don't care if you're a freshman or if you're a veteran guy like Chase Litton, more comfortable than a tight end like Ryan Juracek, finds a soft.
1st and 10 for the Monarchs. There's a give, and nothing going on for Ray Lowry. Brought down immediately. Artis Johnson. Najee Cox. And there's Williams, wants to throw. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Just looking to get rid of it, and he does just that. Still 4 wide. Davis is the tailback. He gets it, tries to get outside. He does, gets a block, and looks like 1st down yardage out to the 40-yard line. Tyree Brady with a nice block downfield.
You know,
he's going to be a little short, a couple yards
than what he was last year. You can see that acceleration when he gets out on the edge. 122 yards rushing versus Charlotte last week. And you see him, he sees the hole, puts the foot in the ground, and gets upfield, and he still has just enough size on him. The ball carrier run with it. It's a success.
Here they go to keep it on the ground. Lowry. Good defensive pursuit by Chris Jackson. A loss of a couple of yards. 24 touchdowns between them a year ago. Cox and Lowry. Williams to the end zone. Good defense, and Jackson on the play. Relegated to just sitting on its hands here as Marshall struggling offensively. There's Tyler King giving him a spark, out to the 34-yard line, picks up about 9 yards. Anything, Doug, that Bill Legg could do to kind of give him a sense of urgency?
Well, when you see that defensive end for ODU lined up in the wide 9, they're giving them the inside zone. That's a face mask right there.
Old Dominion territory.
And you see a great run here, and at the end, there's a face mask. It looks like they got a targeting call, but the offense is starting to finally click.
There's Litton, fakes a handoff. Now he's chased out of the pocket. Little dump off. And the herd crowd gets to its feet, down to the 11-yard line.
And set him up for a field goal attempt.
So Kari Vedvik in for a 22-yard field goal attempt. He's 4 for 7 this year. And there's a flag. Crowd erupts like it's an offsides.
Referees
see if they were
have a discussion about
off.
this one. Let's see which.
Maya Chaka is the head linesman. And they do call it on the Thundering Herd.
Once again, ODU steps up that time on special teams.
They've completely kept the crowd out of it. Marshall's offense has been stagnant, and the Monarchs just content to run clock and kind of a full house backfield. And he's going to keep it this time. And there's nice penetration. Malik Gant comes up to make the stop. So Marshall will get the football back.
6'2", 200-pounder from Washington, D.C., H.D. Woodson High School. Same high school as Byron Leftwich and Girardi Mercer,
right.
2 former Marshall greats. And this is a great open field tackle. Hurry up mode most of the time, but let's see how quick they go on this drive.
Litton wants to throw it. Wide open Brady. First time they've connected today. Brady out to the 44-yard line.
That's an absolute breakdown in coverage. There's no way that number 8 should be that wide open if you're Old Dominion. You got to find where number 8 is at all time. First, great protection by the offensive line. And this is easy. I mean, you leave number 8 that wide open, it's pitch and catch all day long.
Brady with 30 catches this year. Leads the league in yards receiving per game. There's a little quick outside here. Davis into Old Dominion territory, gains about 7 yards.
And that's that quickness. That's the quickness that he didn't have last year. He was a power back last year and could get north and south, but he's added a little bit of shiftiness to his game here. Hits the gas to get to the corner, and then once he puts his foot in the ground, nice cut right here, getting vertical, and still has enough size.
The Herd trying to get something on the board. There's Davis again, big hole. Davis inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line.
And that's how you finish a run, Keith Morehouse. Give him a little stiff arm on the way out of bounds. Give him something to think about. Davis gets in the hole, sees the hole, and accelerates through. Excellent job by the offensive line coming off, getting to the second level, knocking down linebackers. And Chase Litton throwing the ball. They've looked solid on this drive. Let's see if they can punch it in for a touchdown.
There's the give to Davis. David inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. Hard run.
And that's the power. I talk about him losing weight. He didn't lose any strength. Able to finish runs, falling down forward, getting through the hole, gets skinny, breaking an arm tackle, and then dragging defenders, runs through 2 defenders there, gets the ball down to the 2-yard line.
Second and goal for the Herd. Davis still the tailback. There's the look to Brady. Back of the end zone. Touchdown, Thundering Herd.
There's Tyree Brady. He's special. That's a special football player. Marshall's had some fantastic wide receivers come through here.
Thank you, Jake. Coach Doc Holliday and his offense finally get on track. Well, that's a tough matchup.
That's the best way to get on track. Throw it to your best player.
No doubt. Yeah, everybody saw that NC State game and said, we better not single cover Tyree Brady. Number 8's pretty good. Bedwick with a deep kick. That chases Harper back inside his end zone. And he'll be taken down at the 13-yard line. Artis Johnson on special teams. Sonny Randle was a star in the black and white days of the NFL, a blazing wide receiver who was a 4-time All-Pro, and he caught more touchdown passes in the 60s than any other receiver in the league. After his playing days were over, he moved on to the college coaching scene, and few remember that he had an encounter with Marshall football on its darkest day. He was an assistant coach at East Carolina on November 14, 1970.
I shook hands with maybe 10 or 12 players and 4 or 5 coaches, and that they're no longer here on earth. I mean, that was tough to swallow.
But we really came to know Sonny Randle in 1979 when he was hired to be the head coach of the Herd. His fire and intensity were legendary, and Coach Randle's emotions seemingly trying to will the Herd to wins when wins were hard to come by.
We'll have an opportunity every time we tee it up.
Where y'all playing at?
Former NFL All-Pro Carl Lee was his best player in those days. Lee knows exactly what Coach Randle did for Marshall.
Sonny was the first coach to really put a foundation of players together that would allow someone else, unfortunately he didn't get that opportunity, but that another coach could come in and say, okay, now I can work with this. You know, Sonny was the first one.
In his last game at Marshall, his players carried him off the field, a 56-7 win over VMI.
We've talked, and when we start talking about the turnaround here, we start with Sonny. Off the field, playing golf, kidding around, you know, was the greatest guy that you could ever be around. On the practice field and during a game was the most intense guy you ever want to be around. But it wasn't threatening. To me, it wasn't.
I suggested a little.
And Sonny Randle came back to Marshall for the Herd's golden years.
And he's got some room and moves. Randy Moss. Oh, my. Oh.
Two things. They cannot turn the ball over, and Georgia's going to have to get in the short field a couple of times. And partner, I don't have to tell you, you don't have to be the sharpest knife in the drawer to figure out those 2 things. Bouncing around trying to shake it off. I'm not sure you could put him down with an elephant gun. Keith, one day in Pittsburgh, I traded 4 front teeth for a touchdown. I didn't think that was a fair trade. Most of the time, networks and the football people, they put the good-looking young lady down there on the sideline. You why? So the men will watch the game. You understand? Well, we do it just the opposite. We put the good-looking guy down there on the field, and you know what? Our female viewers, it's gone out of sight.
So feel free to call him one of a kind. The description fits him perfectly, from his shoulder pads to his coaching whistle to his headset. True freshman, 17 years old, trying to lead this offense. Cox has nowhere to go inside.
Haven't been in sync, and I think they got out of rhythm from those long ODU drives early in the football game.
And he may have a free play here. Litton takes a shot over the middle. And speaking of taking a shot, Marcel Williams with the catch down to the 30-yard line.
Surprised
Tough
they didn't
catch.
call helmet
Tough
to helmet.
hang on
that.
to that one.
Talked about taking a shot. Great protection here. Let's Chase Litton see the field and delivers a strike.
See if the Monarchs blitz. Right now just standard 4. They give it to Tyler King. King gets a block out front. Tyler King shakes free. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. To a team that had been lackadaisical on offense, but not when number 3 gets it. Uses his blocking, and the Thundering Herd takes a 14-3 lead over the Monarchs. Back after this.
Great run, great play call. Florida boys hook up here. Chase Litton takes a snap, hands it off to King. Great block downfield by Willie Johnson. Wide receivers, we don't just ask you to catch passes, brothers. We need you to block for us when we get on the perimeter. Excellent job for the touchdown run.
Vedvik on the kick. Harper hit at the 18-yard line. Gets out to about the 21. Delivery is made to Obi. Odialo, his second career catch at Marshall. First down yardage for the Herd.
Obialo, another one of these big receivers. Look at the way these kids are built like running backs. Big, tall running back, 6'3", 210. Transfer from Oklahoma State. Chase Litton stands tall in the pocket, delivers a strike. Obialo, that big body.
One wide receiver we've heard a lot of so far through this season for Old Dominion has been Isaiah Harper. He was a kick returner last year. He's really grown into a wide receiving role this season. He's led the team in receiving 2 weeks in a row heading into this game.
That Marshall defense right now dictating the line of scrimmage. He's going to throw on second down, but he's getting blitzed and he's getting taken down. Chase Hancock was coming. Frankie Hernandez was coming.
That's a perfect time for Chuck Heater to dial up some pressure on the freshman quarterback. You see it coming from the secondary. Linebackers coming through. Flush him out of the pocket. You want him uncomfortable. You want him to...
There's a handoff. Good yardage. First down, and what a backbreaker for that ODU defense. He was the national tight end of the week after that 3-touchdown performance against Cincinnati. There he is going up top. Brady got away. Brady to the end zone. Touchdown.
And when you've got a receiver like Brady, you make this call. You put Yurachek in the backfield, and you max protect it. Leave him in, and you send your best player. You see man coverage. You say, my man's better than your man. Go to this guy. It's now 21-3. They've opened the door up. And Brady's been quiet for the most part all afternoon. And you look here, and if you don't give any safety help, and you leave your corner out by himself, Holly out there.
And he'll take this one 2 yards deep, and he's coming out. And he's met by the Herd special team fumble. Chris Jackson, touchdown, Thundering Herd.
And now you hear that crowd. Everybody's on their feet now.
They did not blow it dead. Special teams, which has been solid all year long. With the fumble recovery and pay dirt. After a 7-point first half, Marshall has exploded with 3 second-half touchdowns, and they lead at 28-3. On this replay, Doug, it looked like Justin Morrow and Jaquan Yulee put the hit on Harper.
And from that angle, it's hard to see where the ball actually physically and mentally matures. They're going to be scary again on offense.
There's a screen play to Lowry. Nice spin move, but he's still stopped for a loss of yardage. Thanks, Jake. 3rd and 10 for the Monarchs. Straight rush for the Herd, and Williams is caught up in it and just throws it to the sidelines.
They're going to get him for in the grasp or grounding. Yeah. And you see here, protection breaks down up front. He has nowhere to go with that football. Break the pocket, go get 2 to 3 yards. Don't throw that ball away, put your offense in harm.
And the game will slow down for him, for certain. Highleek Foster does not signal the fair catch. Foster has got a home. Down to the 37-yard line. So the senior firing up everybody on special teams.
Highleek Foster makes that first man miss and just gets north to south and use that speed.
Yurachek in motion. Fake the give. Yurachek over the middle. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. Well, they got the play right, Doug.
Excellent play call. You motion Yurachek across the formation. They're in zone. You realize it's not man. He comes off free release untouched, runs the seam route. 6 points. And there he goes. Now you have your quarterback. He's got to drop back and throw it, and you're down by 32 points. Completely different football game.
They swing it out. Oh, what a hit by Malik Gant. And Herslow somehow hung on. Wow.
And Gant is a hitter now.
The walk-on. Not anymore, but he was a walk-on.
Oh, yeah. From H.D. Woodson High School in our nation's capital. I mean, he brings it right here. Excellent tackle.
Hurt showing blitz. Artise Johnson backs off. Williams wants to get rid of it, but he is taken down by Channing Haynes.
And you got to make a decision there. You step forward, pull it down, and just run with it, or let it go to one of your receivers. And he sees nothing downfield. Pull it down and just take off. Just take off and trust your.
And there's King for good yardage. With some help from Cody Mitchell, picks up about 8 yards.
That's the big back now. They put in Artis. I'm sorry, they put in Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson, I apologize.
They're 6'2", 240. You put a big boy in like that,
It
you
starts
let him get downfield.
Starts to buckle you a little bit.
On a tired, sore defense. Send him to the ice tubs.
Now he wants to go outside. A little stiff arm, gets him first down yardage. Knocked out of bounds. Running back depth is a prerequisite these days. Remember, back in your day, you'd carry 25 times a game.
It was me and Low Turner. We didn't have as we were not as deep as this team here at the running back position.
I think you guys did all right though.
We did okay.
There's Anderson delivering another hit and refuses to go down. And he's always had that experience at the quarterback position. Taylor Heineke was there. He had a shot in the NFL. And then Washington, as the Herd keeps it on the ground. Anderson again, he's feeling it.
He's running angry. That's 240 pounds coming at you. Defensive backs don't want to see that. A lot of linebackers don't either. Now that pistol formation, just nothing fancy. Downhill, takes the first man. Letting that play clock get down to 2 or 1 before you snap the ball.
Anderson again. Finds some good yardage.
They got guys covering on the back end, and they're in the quarterback's face almost every play, and just bringing 4 guys.
He's 237 getting up like that, Doug.
And you love to see that. You love to see a guy who hasn't gotten a lot of carries throughout the course of the game, and he gets in, and he's still playing like it's the first quarter. Offensive line coming off the ball, hurdling defenders. We look at the games differently, so we really appreciate what that defense does play in and play out. But when you look at this score, people are going to think, oh, Marshall's offense just went crazy today. But that defense has been playing very, very well for them all year. Even Chase Litness, he said it himself. He's riding their coattails and rode them today to a 35-3 victory till they got their stride.
And he'll be critical of his performance, but Marshall, pretty impressive in the second half here. They win at 35-3 over Old Dominion to go to 5-1.